Hello everyone, I welcome you all on this YouTube channel. This is me Rahul, and today we are going to cover the important news articles for your public administration optional that are given in the newspaper The Hindu, dated 2nd of October 2023. So the first important article that you can see on your screen is about new constitutional ideas for India, and it is talking about the Gandhian constitution versus the present Indian constitution. So basically the writer is talking about, the writer, as you can see, is the author of the book The Colonial Constitution. So this is important in terms of evolution of Indian administration. This is relevant for your philosophical framework of constitution and government, and even in your GS paper 2, if you analyze the previous year question, it was asked some way back in 1980s or 90s that or something like means it was in the previous year question that whether we need a new constitution or not. Or if you see the question paper of 2023 GS paper 2, you will get the question whether we need a new constitution or not. So basically it is a repeated theme, it is relevant for your syllabus, and in terms of PYQ also it is very important. And in current affair also, if you see the Panch Pran announced by Honorable Prime Minister from Red Fort on this 75th Independence Day, you will find that he was also talking about the fact that we need to get over this colonial mindset. So again, you just need to understand that it is important, and you can expect the question again from this theme either in GS2 or for that matter in your public administration paper 1 or paper 2 as well. Okay, so I hope you are getting this. So the article is basically giving the context that Mahatma Gandhi's vision of constitution was different. He was talking about this thing that we might become independent, but to become a real you can say Swaraj, what we need is the ancient village republic. And basically you need to remember the article 40, the context of Panchayati Raj institution. So you must be knowing about the fact. So what you need to understand from this article, just note down the important keywords like English rule without the Englishman, not Hindustan but Englistan. So these are the keywords, these are the jargons that you need to write in your answers while talking about these things. Similarly, in the background is like that if you see that there was a Gandhian constitutional framework that was first published in 1946, but it was more of a moral code rather than the legal code, and that's why Gandhi himself rang the death knell of the Gandhian constitution. And if you look at the context of Indian constitution, it was that the need of that time was the progressive post-war constitution. So just note these keywords, just try to cultivate that intellectualism, that yes, you are focusing on the basic. You can say if you read this article, this is very big article, but just try to focus on the keywords, the basic facts that you need to capture. So that period was based on progressive post-war constitution, and that's why in that context of chaos and havoc, what happened that the Gandhian idea, the Gandhian constitution took the back seat, and what we get is this constitution that is present. So you can just write these things in one of the, you can say, argument when you are talking about argument in favor of changing the constitution. On the other hand, you can also write there is no need to change the constitution, so argument against you can write, and there you can write the basic frameworks like we have the constitution that can be amended, it is amended recently, and since independence it is amended many times. So basically we have this kind of authority and we can amend it. So this is what you need to write. You need to write the B.R. Ambedkar's statement, and that constitution, or for that matter any institution, is not something that makes the country or makes the administration. The ultimate thing is the administrators or the politicians that are running that constitution or those institutions. So in that context you can bring the idea or the dimension of criminalization of politics as well. You can say that 43% of MPs in the parliament of the country are having the criminal charges against them. So basically you just need to write those arguments as well, arguments against. And in favor, you can talk about Gandhian constitution, you can talk about the basic loopholes in the present context of the constitution. You can write that okay, there are some loopholes in state legislature. Those articles are not very much, you can say, comprehensive, because they were passed hurriedly in 1-2 days. So this is one of the basic thing. And also you can talk about the role of governor, etc. You can talk about some other loopholes in the constitution. So these are the arguments in favor, and arguments against you can simply write. And then comes the thinking, the linking and thinking of public administration. So you can basically talk about the need of administrative reforms in the administration. So as you can see, as you can write, that Woodrow Wilson was of the view that it is very easy to write the constitution than to implement the one. This is something that you can use in the conclusion, that as per Woodrow Wilson, he was of the view that it is easier to write the constitution than to implement the one, than to run the constitution. Easier to write, difficult to run. So it basically talks about the implementation of the ideas of the constitution. And in that context, you can bring the F.W. Riggs in the picture, who talks about the idea of formalism in the in the prismatic society, and Indian society is a prismatic society. So we have this formalism. Formalism basically means that there is a difference between what is written and what is being implemented. So from that context, you can bring F.W. Riggs, and you just conclude this thing by writing the fact that what we need is the constitutionalism or formalism. We need to fight the formalism, and we need to bring the constitutionalism in the picture. So just try to write those things, and you will be able to write a good answer. I hope you are getting, and I hope you will write a good answer whenever it will come in the examination. The second news article, as you can see over here, is about government agencies use of commercial spyware. So recently you can see that the opponent, the former minister of Egypt, he was targeted by this spyware. The name of the spyware is important in order to substantiate your answers while writing the answers. Okay, I hope you are getting. There is no need to go into the details that who is this minister, what is the origin, what was the matter. Just try to remember कि इजिप्ट में कुछ ऐसा कांड हुआ है. सिट्रॉक्स का एक प्रीडेटर स्पाईवेयर है. Okay, so this is what you need to remember. Citrox predator spyware. We have the example of Pegasus in India, and this NSO Pegasus and Citrox का ये जो predator spyware. Apart from that, earlier we have Germany's Finfisher and Italy's hacking team. So just try to remember. For example, you can make a diagram in the answer sheet if you like, and in this way you will be able to write a good answer. You will be able to substantiate what you are writing with respect to surveillance state. This is relevant for your accountability and control in your public administration paper 2, as well as in your philosophical framework, because value premises or the fundamental rights are the philosophical framework of the constitution and government, and these exercises of surveillance state are basically targeting those basic tenets or basic features of constitution of the country. Okay, apart from that, you can basically introduce or just try to you can remember this fact that between 2011 and 2023 at least 74 government contracted with the commercial firms to obtain the spyware. Again, this is relevant. You can basically bring that internationalization aspect of public administration or the surveillance state while talking about the facts in public administration paper 1. I hope you are getting that how to use this thing. Okay, so whenever you are talking about rising surveillance state, or for that matter the changing political culture across the world, or while comparing the constitution, or while addressing the global context of public administration, you can basically use this context, and overall you can bring it in the accountability and control. That overall accountability is reducing because states are basically becoming more powerful, they are concentrating. So I hope you are getting this thing. The next article, the very small article, is about Indian system where no copyright claim on the public service videos. Prasar Bharati officials are claiming this. So there is some controversy, not very important for your exam, but yes, you can just go through it. You can keep this thing in your mind. okay, but this is not very important. You can use it while writing about freedom of speech and expression, that yes, you can use the public service videos of Prasar Bharati or the government of India for the purpose of freedom of speech and expression, and you can use them in your YouTube videos, and there will not be a copyright infringement as well. Apart from that, we have seen this article. Another important article that is given in the newspaper of 2nd October, you can see over here. Article is talking about India's statistical performance on the global stage. So recently there is a report, World Bank's compilation of statistical performance indicators. It ranked India 67 among 174, and India celebrates the election in the United Nations Statistical Commission. So basically these are the context, and apart from that, what you need to understand that data is the new oil, and if you read the newspapers daily, and if you read the Pubedpedia magazine for that matter, what you will find one thing, that the data, or the you can say data related questions are going on in the news time and again. There was the news with respect to rural bias in Indian data system. There was the news with respect to data, you can say the National Data Commission, or like statistical commission was in the news. Okay, similarly the statistics that we have, they were in the news. So the thing is that data time and again is coming in the news, and similarly we have data protection bill as well. So data is something that is in the news time and again, and you can expect one question related to data governance in your answers in your public administration paper 1, paper 2, in context of your philosophical framework, or for that matter accountability and control, or for that matter what is the role of data in public policy cycle. So if you read the public policy cycle right from public policy formulation to you can say to implementation to you can say monitoring, evaluation, you will find that data is important in the entire process. So you can brainstorm on that aspect. In the previous years I did this kind of brainstorming exercise for role of AI in public administration, and if you read if you just look at the UPSC CSE 2023 question paper of public administration paper 1, you will find that role of AI or those things are there in the question paper. So just try to brainstorm. Similarly, on the same lines, try to brainstorm the role of data, or for that matter the data governance in terms of public administration. I hope you are getting. So you can also, while analyzing or while writing about the role of data, you can mention the dimension. So 5 pillars of national statistical system are data use, data service, data products, data sources, and data infrastructure. So when you are talking about the comprehensive data and governance, you can highlight these aspects, that okay, data source, you can just use the life cycle approach, if you can see over here. So this is how you need to understand the overall data, relevance of data, the role of data in policy cycle, and how can you relate this thing with the public administration thinkers. So if you read data is nothing but the information sort of thing. So information, if you read the role and importance of information in public administration, you will find that it is important for the decision making, as highlighted by the thinkers like Chester Bernard as well as Herbert Simon. When Herbert Simon talks about fact premise of decision making, it is nothing but the idea of data. Similarly, the role of cabinet secretary, chief secretary, what are their role? They are acting like the eyes and ears of prime minister and chief minister respectively, and they are providing the important data to the ministers and to the chief minister and prime minister per se. So in this way you will be able to write it in the paper 1 as well as in the paper 2. Similarly, in context of accountability and governance, information is important. Information asymmetry is a kind of you can say challenge to the accountability and control, and RTI is bringing nothing but it is bringing the information to the people. Again, information is important for the accountability, and data is important for the accountability and control. I hope you are getting. Similarly, you can talk about other aspects as well. Just brainstorm the different thinkers and different aspects of your syllabus. I am not doing these things in the real time, because I will brainstorm those things with a proper time, and I will provide those things in the PubEdpedia current affair magazine that I am publishing right from June 2020. Okay, so you will get the magazine. I am providing the link in the description. You can also join the Telegram channel PubEdpedia. There you will find the important news articles, as you can see over here. Apart from that, I have covered all the things. Okay, one more article is there. This article is talking about the recent this judgment, Vachathi judgment. So it is about the philosophical framework of constitution and government, where we are talking about the tribal rights. So in terms of tribal rights, you can note this judgment. This judgment is basically upholding the rule of law, or you can say upholding the rule of law and targeting, or you can say tackling the tyranny of a state. So you can use this thing while talking about you can say the value premise of the fundamental right. You can bring this dimension while you are talking about the bulldozer urbanism or bulldozer justice that is going on different parts of the country. So this is how you need to use and link the different articles while talking about the perspectives. Okay, so this is how we have different articles. So we have covered these articles. 5 articles were there in the newspaper of 2nd October, and if you read the 1st October, it was talking about encounters, UP government terms encounter as police self-defense action. So there was the Supreme Court you can say order, in which they were asking about the report on 183 or something, 180 plus encounters that took place in the state of Uttar Pradesh after 2017 till now. So UP government submit the report in written, you can say as per the order of the Supreme Court. So in that order, in that report, Uttar Pradesh government they highlight this encounter as the self-defense action. Apart from that, this Gardner governance model was highlighted by the Chief Minister of Rajasthan. So you just need to remember this keyword, Gardner governance model. You can use this thing in your answers while talking about the good governance. All the aspirants, let's say there is a question on good governance, all the aspirants who are writing the exam, they will incorporate the UN model of good governance. There they will talk about consensus oriented, equity, efficiency, effectiveness, rule of law, participative, accountable, responsive, transparent. All the aspirants will do this thing. Okay, all the serious aspirants will definitely do this thing, but in order to ace any competition, what you need to do, you need to bring the value addition, and this Gardner governance is something that you can write in your answer. Gardner governance is what you can see over here. Gardner basically is a Mali, and the basically what you need to understand, that there are different flowers in the system, there are different fragrances of those flowers, and the gardener has to work for the upliftment and for the, you can say, development of all those beautiful flowers as well as the fragrance. So the administrator should work like gardener without any discrimination. They should work for the development and upliftment of all the section of the society without discrimination. So this is how you need to write the things. Similarly, you can use this thing in your GS paper 1 and GS paper 2 as a way forward while talking about the social issues or vulnerable section, that what is the role of state. Let's say there is a question linking role of state and vulnerable section. So you can write in the conclusion about the Gardner model of good governance. Okay, I hope you are getting. This is how you need to bring the value addition, and this is how PubEdpedia magazine helps you in your public administration optional, and this is how it goes on. Okay, so I hope you are getting the important news articles, and this is it for the day. Thank you so much.